Hey YouTube, my name is Eve and this is my very first YouTube video, not my first attempt, but hopefully the first time I upload this. I have my Monster Energy with me. No, I'm not gonna review that. Doesn't taste so good, but we stand. You hear that? That's the sound of limitless and calorie-free energy. No, I'm not sponsored, obviously. Today, I wanted to talk a bit about NFTs and in particular the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yacht. I don't know how the English pronunciation is. I'm a German native speaker, so sometimes the pronunciation might be a bit off. Anyways, some of you might have seen that the YouTuber Foldable Human has uploaded a video called Line Goes Up, which has received a lot of reviews and a lot of commentary. It's a really good video. I think it's almost 2 hours long, but it's definitely worth investing the time, as he really points out a lot of important stuff about NFTs, crypto in general. He even refers to the big recession of 2008. I have watched the video even before it went completely viral. I'm one of those people, but you can watch it now still. I think it's his most successful video, and rightfully so, because it was partly hard to follow because it gets technical, but it's still very interesting for the most part. Basically, I think one of the main takeaways from his video was that NFTs basically serve as first really big thing where crypto is actually used, because for now crypto is mainly used as a kind of asset and is not really yet implemented as like a payment method in a lot of places, except NFT marketplaces, of course. And I think you've all seen the insane rise of NFTs this year or last year still, and those ugly ass pictures, ugly as fuck, fucking ridiculously ugly, ridiculously lazy. Funny enough, because one of those character assortments, let's call it that, is called Lazy Lions, one of the most successful, I think. And exactly those ugly pictures are what I want to talk about today. I didn't want to talk about Foldable Humans video. You should watch that though, just because it's a really good video. But I wanted to talk about specifically the Bored Ape Yacht Club and an article I found. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know if that's known or if the author wants to remain anonymous, but I thought it was really interesting to look at. I haven't seen anyone talk about it yet. So I thought I'd just sit down and go through it with you, especially because it connects to really big issues of our time, being NFTs and right-wing ideologies. So let's fucking go. Maybe a quick information. I actually do own some crypto. I bought in right before the market crashed a few months back, because I do believe theoretically that it's nice to have a decentralized cryptocurrency, which doesn't rely on a nation state, right? It sounds kind of cool. Also, if I ever want to get into criminal activities, I guess that's a good starting point. But after watching Foldable Humans video, I'm a bit less enthusiastic about it, because he points out clearly that right now, as of now, the cryptocurrency and NFT market is basically anarcho-capitalism, meaning that it's capitalism without the government as an overhead, which means basically that the person who has the most already going into that market wins the most. So as little people, I am not rich. I think most people who invest in crypto are not rich. Just the people who can afford those fucking NFTs are rich, like Eminem, Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon. It's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, let's go. So the article is called Bored Ape Yacht Club is Racist and Started by Neo-Nazis, which, damn, that's a fucking headline if I've ever seen one. Here we go. Here I am, so you can see my reaction. I'm looking on my second monitor, that's why you see my ugly ass profile, but yeah. I need some Monster Energy to start this off. So this article, let's go through it sentence by sentence. Bored Ape Yacht Club, the really ugly pictures you can see here, is a series of 10,000 anthropomorphized ape cartoons sold as NFTs. NFTs, I guess if you clicked on this video, you already know, non-fungible tokens which are saved on the blockchain. Since the project's launch in April 2021, the value has amassed to over $4 billion and spawned many similar projects, very much to the disgrace and ridicule of everyone else on the internet. Every person with some brain cells left. The apes have various clothing and other traits. Most traits are racially oriented or involve some type of military history. This is where it first gets interesting, in my opinion, because I hadn't actually seen the military history once before, but we can clearly see this here on this ape, for example, and also here with the chain. I would think that it's just because it's like for bro dudes who are into weapons, you know, there's like those history geeks, nerds who are like into war and war history and guns and I apologize, those were really bad gun sounds. So I hadn't seen that yet. And I thought because there's also the lazy lions and there's so many animal and anthropomorphized NFT series that I didn't particularly pay attention to the apes in a racialized context, but that's where this article comes in. The act of disparaging someone by comparing them to an ape or monkey goes back hundreds of years. There's a word for it, simionization. There are many examples throughout history. Its purpose is to justify violence and racism against another group by dehumanizing them, comparing them to apes. Simionization has occurred with various ethnic groups, such as Jewish, Irish, and Asian people, but it is most predominantly used as a tactic against Black people. There was an incident at a soccer game or something, and people were calling the British Inselaffe, which in English means island monkey. Island monkey, they say. I was not aware that this was like a general expression used for English people. It was like last year during I think it was the European Soccer Cup. There was this whole incident, but let me see. Well, I can't find it. I don't remember the incident. Anyways, people were calling the English Inselaffen, island monkeys, and other German people on Twitter, as it usually is, complained that that was racist, which, yeah, reverse racism. People do believe in that. People really do believe in that, especially in Germany. Germans love to victimize themselves, white Germans. Anyways, maybe I will cut this out. This was a bit all over the place because it's on the top of my head and I didn't really do any research. I just remembered that there was this incident where white people were called apes and people complained about reverse racism, and it was really ridiculous. It was really ridiculous because I think actually that's why I wanted to Google the event that triggered it was that someone from the English team made some racist comments, or there was an incident with actual racism. So that's crazy. Anyways, you might think simionization is something of a past era, but racists are still comparing Black people to monkeys today, such as the trend in Europe of throwing bananas at Black soccer players. Horrible. absolutely horrible. Especially in soccer, it seems to be so prevalent. Maybe it just has more weight because soccer is such a big thing in Europe, but there's like every few months, if not less, there's a racist incident in one of the top teams, where you can imagine like how many racist incidents there are in smaller teams and what Black and non-white players have to endure to make it to the top. At first glance, the apes on board Ape Yacht Club might seem innocent, but there are several traits that indicate that they are intended to represent Black people and Asian people, such as the gold chain trait called hip-hop, the gold diamond grills trait, or the kamikaze headband from fascist imperial Japan, offensively called sushi chef headband. What I was wondering when I read that was if you can customize these apes. I thought someone just created this insult to the eyes and then you would buy one that you like. But apparently they have these funny little things you can put on them, traits, kind of like Sims. So it's actually kind of like The Sims 4, man, NFT bros. Myself and many others have noticed the issues with the images. It is clearly simonization. If you run a Twitter search, you can find people who have been talking about this since the project started. Let's remember that was April last year, so almost a year ago. Knowing the history of alt-right 4chan types in crypto, I started looking into it. I found what I believe to be definitive evidence that the group behind the creation of these images are neo-Nazis. If you didn't know, the creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club are actually anonymous, so no one knows who they are in real life, but I think we're gonna get to that in a bit. Some might think like, wouldn't they have like some known history, but we don't know who these people are, so we can't prove that they were on like alt-right 4chan or something. Here's how I have arrived at this conclusion. First, the Bored Ape Yacht Club logo looks very similar to the Nazi Totenkopf emblem, even containing the same amount teeth in the skull, 18, a number the ADL has identified to mean Adolf Hitler. This we see as a graphic here. It says same text placement, angle, and with 18 teeth, which, you know, you look at this logo at first, you're like, yeah, that's some cartoonish logo that we see oftentimes these days. But yeah, the resemblance is uncanny. And I'm not sure how aware people outside of Germany are of like Nazi symbolism. I don't even know how aware German people are of that, for that matter, because everyone knows the swastika. Obviously in German it's actually illegal to draw that or put it on somewhere. But the 18 and the 88, because the 88 stands for Heil Hitler. Like the 18, it goes for the alphabet. The 1 is the first letter in the alphabet, which is A, obviously, and the 8 is the 8th letter in the alphabet, meaning H. So 1-8 or 8-8 is Adolf Hitler or Heil Hitler. I recently talked to someone about it and they didn't know, and I think it's important to know because some Nazis, some neo-Nazis will have 8-8 or 1-8 tattooed or on a shirt, and I think for some people it's better safe than sorry to have this information. Also, I recently saw this video of a YouTuber called Filion who doesn't do anything content-wise in this direction, but he made a video about a strong man, and I noticed that the strong man had another tattoo on his arm depicting Nazi symbolism. It's called, I think, Reichskreuz. It's this symbol here. So if you ever see that, run, literally run. This symbol here. Yeah, I'm just saying that because I noticed that he didn't mention that in the video. I mean, he doesn't make political content. This is not like a call out or anything, but I thought maybe, because I think he's American, maybe he doesn't know at all. So he couldn't even make a comment. Not that he has to, but I think that's important to know. The project was launched by a company called Yuga Labs. The Kali Yuga is a popular element of alt-right and traditionalist ideology, and Yuga Labs has gone to the effort to embed the traditionalist philosopher's name, René Guénon, who is credited for bringing Kali Yuga into Western thought and an alt-right icon inside one of their puzzles. Also embedded is the word macaque, a known racial slur. So Kali Yuga, I've actually never heard that before. Let's look it up. Kali Yuga. Oh, it's a demon. It's a demon. Let's see. It's from Hinduism. That's crazy. But I think the swastika, the symbol that Adolf Hitler appropriated, is also from either Hinduism or even Buddhism, definitely from like a Southeast Asian thought. And it doesn't have anything to do with fascism. It's real tragedy that it was appropriated like that. Third, that's what I talked about before. All the co-founders are anonymous. We don't know their true identities. One of their handles is Gargamel, a character from the Smurfs who is acknowledged as an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish person, also a common term used on 4chan to discuss Jews. That's horrible. I was not aware of that. I used to watch the Smurfs as a child, so that's bad. Aren't they still like on TV and stuff? Who made the Smurfs? Why is it from Disney? Because then I wouldn't be surprised, you know? It's Belgian. Oh, that's great. 1958, yeah. 1958 in Europe is, I guess, a good time for anti-Semitic comic authors. That's just great. Since I've brought this up, he has gone through the effort to try to hide it. Well, that's not suspicious at all. Fourth, another co-founder, Emperor Tomato Ketchup, is named after an explicit film with the same title that features scenes with a young boy in a fascist uniform sexually assaulting an adult bride. The original film is banned in the US and other countries on grounds of child pornography. I actually did look this up before I started to make this video because just the title seemed so funny to me. It's a Japanese movie from the 70s, and I get why it's banned. They actually, like, the children are played by actual children. I made the mistake of doing a Google search and clicking on images, which I will not subject you to and do not recommend anyone to do because it was gross, very weird, very concerning. I don't even know how this could be produced in the first place, but alas. Anyways, I have to make a counterpoint here because there's also an album by, I think, Stereolab. I don't think they have any history in that they are alt-right or something. But well, I guess in this context, if someone is calling themselves Emperor Tomato Ketchup, it's very concerning. I get why the author of this article brought that up. Fifth, another co-founder goes by Gordon Gunner. That's the name of the website, by the way. You can see it up here, gordongunner.com, if you want to read the article for yourself, because I'm being a bit all over the place here. Another co-founder goes by Gordon Gunner, says he picked the name because it sounds like Joey Ramone. Where? It doesn't. What are you talking about? Being that the group frequently uses anagrams and that it doesn't at all sound like Joey Ramone, maybe this is an anagram. Sure enough, it's a whole word anagram for drongo. Am I allowed to even say that? I think I will censor that. Drongo is common 4chan and Australian slang for stupid. It's in the dictionary as such, second definition. So his name means stupid N-word. Writers often use anagrams for character names, and they are also often incorporated within video games, some of which Yuga Labs have stated they play. So we talked about 3 or 4 founders already, and they all have suspicious names and all relate kind of to the 4chan alt-right bubble. And they made the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I really want to stress, the Bored Ape Yacht Club has been condoned by people such as Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon on the Jimmy Fallon Show, Eminem, and way more really big names. So this isn't included in the article, but this is just something that I find insanely concerning, because I mean, this could just be a really big social experiment where they see how far they can go, which they are very successful then. This is insane that you see those bored apes all over the place. They are sponsored by really big names. It doesn't seem to take that much knowledge to see that they are, I mean, I didn't, but they are taking stuff from the 4chan alt-right bubble. So yeah, that's insanely concerning. Sixth, their video game as well as Rolling Stone cover features reds with gold. This is a common anti-Semitic association. You learn something new every day. I did not know this. The video game also features bananas arranged to look like swastikas. Here we fucking go. I don't think that's a coincidence. Like, if you at this point still call coincidence, like, yeah, that's on you. But it's crazy that they even made the Rolling Stone cover and they managed to integrate an anti-Semitic association on the Rolling Stone cover. That's crazy. This shouldn't be possible. This is bad. Like, just the impact, and just, I know that people who aren't into NFTs don't really like to think or talk about it. They just think it's annoying, and it is. It is. Like, the whole, it's very cult-like. The foldable human video, he also says that it's kind of a pyramid scheme, which I agree with. Watch the video. I think this is important. I think everyone needs to read this article and needs to watch that this thing had an intense grip on the internet for the last year. And now this turns out to be a really big alt-right project, which has made it into the mainstream. This is extremely concerning. I am concerned. You should be concerned. Seventh, the co-creators went out of their way to tell the New Yorker that the official launch of the Bored Ape Yacht Club is the day Hitler died, April 30th, when the project was in fact released to the public a week before. Did you know that Hitler's birthday is actually on 4/20? Nazis love that day. Eighth, the symbols, content, and attitude in the images themselves have neo-Nazi ideology and war references, such as this Imperial German helmet. Seen that above in that imagery. Let's look again. I think it's this. It's called a Pickhaube, I want to say. Let's see. Pickelhaube. This fun thing here. This reminds me of Bismarck every time I see it. But apparently, and non-surprisingly, this is also Nazi imagery. Ninth, in an interview, co-founder Gargamel suggests that there is hidden encrypted meaning and referenced iceberg theory. In the same interview, Gargamel cites a Ludwig Wittgenstein quote, "Let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably." Seems strange if they are just cartoon apes, no? Yes. All of this seems strange. All of this seems very, very wrong. What are their other meanings? Well, I think we're getting kind of on the ground of that one with this article and hopefully my video. They've yet to explain and seem very evasive. The alt-right is known for this tactic of hidden images and innuendo. See full Gargamel quote. Ever since the Bored Ape Yacht Club, we've seen like 1,000 different avatar collections come up, and a lot of them are really cool. But what we think was special, and what people could kind of read on top of ours, is that we didn't just throw 3D glasses onto apes, and we didn't have a long essay on what exactly what this was. But we knew what it was. It's like Wittgenstein's "let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably," or Hemingway's iceberg theory. Hemingway's didn't know that Hemingway invented iceberg theory. I only know iceberg theory from those like memes where it's like true crime iceberg, conspiracy theory iceberg. Let's fucking go. Hemingway believed the deeper meaning of a story should not be evident on the surface, but should shine through implicity. Oh, I can get behind that. I don't like when it's like when you watch a series and it's too in your face. I feel like especially Americans like to do that in a show or movie. They don't suggest anything. Nothing is implicit. Like everything has to be laid out for you, whatever. We knew all about what this world was and why these apes are this way, and that somebody else might get a little tingle on their neck looking at it, thinking, yeah, this is kind of different. This isn't just random. I mean, it's cryptic, but it's also not, especially with all the information we have now. That's the thing. Someone who isn't aware of this imagery will look at these apes and think, these are fucking ugly. This is stupid. Every normal thinking person would do that. But they wouldn't think this is racist or this is anti-Semitic, which obviously can be a form of racism. I feel like this is them admitting to it. Let's look at it again. Why would you get a little tingle on your neck, you know? That sounds like, you know, I mean, either they want to make themselves more interesting than they are. This would also be possible that they are aware of like this whole 4chan thing, and they know that this is a way to push it, because in the end they are making money off of it. A lot of people love to adapt problematic behavior or ideologies to get more publicity and in the end for their own monetary profit. So this would be possible, but it would still be disgusting. It can be both, you know. They profit off of this ideology and they adapt it to get more publicity and get more people to buy this shit. And they also make money from it, but they also believe in it, because I think if you adapt Nazi ideology for your own monetary gain, you're closer to being a Nazi than not being a Nazi, you know what I mean? 10th, here's a recent 4chan thread where users are acknowledging this. Let's look at that 4chan thread. Can I look at this? Thread archived. You cannot reply anymore. I wonder why. Holy shit, Bored Ape Yacht Club is a secret esoteric Hitlerism dog whistle. Get in here now. Fucking based? Based? Isn't this more like cringe worthy or hashtag? Girl help. Yuga Labs, creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, was questioned as to the meaning of Yuga in his name. He said it was a character from Zelda, but the Twitter lefties are not buying. What side is this person on? They instead found out about Yuga as in Kali Yuga from post-World War I Evolian type anti-enlightenment traditionalists and started going schizo mode, delving into the symbolism in Bored Apes and basically confirming that Bored Ape Yacht Club is fucking based. Does this person know what based means? I don't think they do. Lefty NFT Twitter. I was like, which lefties are into NFTs, but I guess it's the anarcho, I don't know how you pronounce this, capitalists, which is disputable if they should be considered leftists, but whatever. Lefty NFT Twitter is having full discussions on the hidden racism in Bored Ape Yacht Club, and it's awesome. Well, I guess it's pretty clear what side this person is on. Schizo mega thread showing connections between Evolian style traditionalism and symbolism in Bored Ape Yacht Club. Lots of salt in this guy's Twitter feed. Keck? Don't know what that means. Talking about prevalence of more racism and more alt-right. What does that mean? I'm on the internet all the time, but I have never been on 4chan before. Maybe they use different language. In the Web 3.0 space and how to counter it. Please post Twitter salt and cringe related to this revelation. This is all fucking great. It looks like Bored Ape Yacht Club is based. This is such a, I'm learning so much right now, but I am also very scared. Knowledge can make you suffer for sure. Metaphysical race theorist. Yep, all right, we don't need to. I will look at this another time. The logo is glaring, based. I mean, if you know, if this 4chan bubble, even if it was accidental symbolism, which is, at this point, it's obviously not, but let's just say it was, all right? If the 4chan alt-rights condone, I hope I used this word right, support your project, you need to say, fuck the money, we are not gonna go forward with this. We take it back, you know? And if you happily embrace those as your fans, then, you know, you're a shit person. You suck. You suck ass. Well, I think the first entry was enough to get the picture. And obviously, alt-right 4chan does not know what based means. That's interesting. Why does it matter? To me, it's a terrible example to other creators, setting a bad tone for future generations of art. We have already seen it morph into increasingly racist offshoots. Oh, OpenSea is the marketplace, right? Oh my God. They're so ugly. This feels like Marilyn Monroe. But you know, those bandanas, the afro, this hair, they are not all racialized, but I guess that makes sense, you know, because it would be too obvious. So I guess they just racialize some. And I mean, I've seen other NFT series that are really quite misogynist, all sorts of really, really bad. Like there's some babes or something like that. Yeah. Similar to why you don't teach children to say cuss words. Beyond that, I am personally offended by the Nazi references and find the act of covertly incepting an uninformed audience vile. Yes, for sure. I feel like the big names who got behind that project should be called out. They should do their research. They are rich. They don't need the Board at Yacht Club to pay them. You know, they don't need that money. They are already rich. Like, that sucks so bad. Well, you know what? I am calling you out. Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon, Eminem, any other big name celebrity who supported these fucking Bored Apes. This video will get like 1 view, my own. So really did something here. But you know, there is a true danger in dehumanizing people, equating them to monkeys. It justifies violence and racism according to much research. Let's see what the research is. Civilization, apes, gender, class, and race. This sounds very interesting. What can you do? Spread the word, stand up against Bored Ape Yacht Club, which I just did. Comment on influencers pages, tell your friends, alert the press. The owners of the apes are not the problem. Well, unless you're a rich, big-time celebrity falling for this, like you should do your research. Covertly infiltrating culture with hate to an unaware audience is what's wrong and evil. Because the thing is, if you desensitize people who are unaware to the symbolism, you can create kind of a pipeline because they aren't aware of the backgrounds of these symbols, and you can draw them into groups because they're like, oh, I know this symbol, I've seen this in the Bored Apes or whatever. This creates a very dangerous environment in which people get desensitized to these symbols, and they know them out of context, and if they are embedded in actual like ideologist circles, they might be drawn into that more easily. So this is really actually dangerous. I have dedicated a lot of time to researching this, and as an expert in the field of internet culture, working professionally in media and design and internet culture for 15 years, a BA in media studies with many credentials, I, many others feel very confident these accusations are founded. Oh, I'm a horrible person. I didn't scroll all the way down here to look at the name. Ryder Rips. Ryder Rips, thank you very much for this amazing research. That was it for the video. I wanted to talk about this very concerning subject. I will make more videos in the future on all kinds of subjects. Not everything will be this heavy. Anyways, thank you for watching until here, and see you next time, hopefully.